life, I have been a legislator, lawyer, speaker, a member in the United States Constitutional Convention, and apparently a farmer. Because I was born in these colonies, I have respect and understanding for what goes on here. Therefore, I am writing these letters to the colonies to inform you about what I believe to be a horrendous crisis among us.
Much better. My fellow colonists, as I was sitting here in my study during these times of hardship, I have found it imperative to write to you about all of these atrocities that have been placed upon us by Parliament. For one, through the Stamp Act, I have noticed that Parliament is taxing our colonies without us having been represented. For those of you who don't know this, after the 7 Years' War, our mother country was left in a state of humongous debt. And because of this, the taxation from the Stamp Act is just to raise more revenue. My fellow colonists, you need to understand that Parliament is taking advantage of us. Okay, that's good. Now, let's start these letters. 7 years ago. No, wrong century. I have a dream. Oh wait, someone will have a dream later. Once upon a time. No, too childish. My beloved countrymen. There we go. That sounds perfect.
With a good deal of surprise, I have observed that little notice has been taken of an act of Parliament, as injurious in its principles to the liberties of these colonies, as the Stamp Act was, this act for suspending the legislation of New York.
Hey, what was that you're reading?
This sounds really interesting.
Well, this lawyer, John Dickinson, is writing letters to us to inform us about what the British is doing to us.
What are they doing to us?
What do you mean?
Well, he's telling us about the Stamp Act.
What's that?
It's the act that requires us to pay a tax on any paper used. Even this newspaper I bought was taxed.
That's not fair.
I don't see why they can only tax us and not the British.
Well, this tax is just to raise revenue, and it's a prime example of what happens when we aren't represented in Parliament.
Why would they want to raise revenue?
Well, remember the 7 Years' War?
Yeah, what about that?
Well, after the war, Britain was left with a huge debt, and they felt that this tax would help them get out of debt sooner.
That's not fair.
I know. I'm glad these letters are published in the newspaper so that we know what's going on and how we can respond to Parliament.
How do we do that?
Well, we can form assemblies. Dickinson says right here, the 3 most important articles that our assemblies or any legislatures can provide for are, first, the defense of the society, secondly, the administration of justice, and thirdly, the support of civil government.
Well, what's that any good for?
Well, if we don't form assemblies to represent ourselves, we may not have liberty in the end.
What do you mean by liberty?
Our rights as Englishmen.
That sounds pretty serious.
Yeah, so you need to go home and read these letters, and you need to tell everyone about it. You need to tell your wife, your kids, your sons, your daughters, your dog, your neighbors, and even your neighbor's dog.
I'm going to go back to Massachusetts right now and join an assembly to fight for my rights as an Englishman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go call my mom.
Wait, pretty sure that hasn't been invented yet.
Oh, hey mom, I'll have to call you back later. Yeah, nothing bad. Yep, bye.